What is up, everyone? This is Jordan again with Poison Noises. Today, I'm sitting here with my guy Jay again, and we're talking about the Knuckle Sandwich. There's another one that we've just had sitting on the docket for months now. It's been a long time coming for this one for sure. This is a pretty classic circuit that we wanted to do our own take on, and we're super excited about the results with it. It's got a lot of versatility, a lot of places where it can go on your board, and Jay's actually had one on his since way before we even released one, so I figured he was the right guy to have for this video for sure. So yeah, why don't you do me a favor? Why don't you give us a little bit of that clean tone? We currently have we got your Les Paul. Actually, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Les Paul and what we're running into real quick?
Well, it's a Gibson Les Paul 58 reissue, and we're going into a Tone King Imperial Mark II. And just clean, just this, nothing else.
Nothing else in the middle.
A couple of good cables, and that's it.
Cool. Why don't you give us that clean tone so we give people a point of reference?
So, that's neck pickup.
Sick. So where we currently have this set up, I believe this is where you had it set up.
Yeah.
So this is how Big J likes to run the pedal for sure. So currently we got some gain going into it, but not a lot. This is actually run pretty low right now.
The gain is actually is it almost okay? So
almost all the way down.
Basically all the way down, but it's really I use it to push. You know, it's a pushing pedal, and it does a nice thing where it kind of pushes the mid range in a nice way that just, I don't know, just certain amps, and especially running into other pedals too, they really sparkle. So,
but when we do this, when we kick this thing on, you can show show what it does.
Yeah. So that's neck pickup. Roll it back a little bit. There's a sweet spot.
You get that's a kind of bite that I wasn't necessarily trying to achieve with the pedal when I originally put this thing together. I kind of had more of an idea of it kind of being more of a like a mid to high gain overdrive too. But you are right. Like it really does just it does push in all the right places
in the right spots.
It's those good juicy low mids.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That I want.
Well, that's
the
big thing. Like versus like a lot of people would use like a tube screamer, and a lot of tube screamers I've ever used, I mean, obviously there's different models, but a lot of ones I ever use kind of push the high mids.
Sure.
And depending on the amp, I mean, I've always used a lot of Fenders, and you know how they can be a little chimey.
Sure.
And, you push those high mids, and depending on the speaker you got, the guitar you got, you can get some really brittle sounds if you're not careful. So this kind of pushes those amps in a really nice way because you get the cut that you want, but you don't get that high frequency like shrillness.
Right, and I can tell you that's a big part of what I'm always trying to avoid with all kinds of overdrive distortions. Because I play mostly Fender amps personally. I know we do a lot of videos with Voxes, we do a lot of videos with all sorts of stuff for sure. But personally, when I'm making all these pedals, what I'm usually basing it into is my DeVille, which we've used in other videos and stuff before. But you're right, it is. I want the low mids. I don't want to push those harsh high mid frequencies that make my ears hurt. This is what I want. And without risk of beating a dead horse, we know a lot of people make pedals that do that for sure. But I wanted to make sure we were just kind of hitting it in the right place, and you actually kind of figured out that we did that before I even did. You know what I mean? So I was still just trying to make it sound good, like I always do when it's turned all the way up. You know what I mean? That's how I want it. So why don't we do this?
We'll just crank it up.
Right.
That's the other place it shines.
Sure. Let's do it. Let's push everything up real quick and see what we can get out of this thing. Give it a Right. That's what I wanted out.
Yeah.
and it does it. It does exactly the
sound.
thing for sure. So, just going through the parameters real quick, as we just went from 0 to 60 real quick on this one. You got your volume, you got your gain, you got your tone. Just like that is that classic triangle setting of parameters you find on dirt boxes that we try to stay true to. Now it's not our classic low pass tone sweep that we usually have on our stuff. This works and behaves more like your classic overdrive pedals, and that's on the uppercut knob too. So why don't you do me a favor, just to stand a chord out from me. And it will, it will push those highs. It's more than just opening something up. You know what I mean? It does give you a little bit of a harmonic edge to those highs for sure. While this does sound great opened all the way up, when I use it personally, I do like to actually roll the uppercut back a little bit. I do for sure. But that jab gain knob, that I dime it every time I use it for sure. But in terms of pushing in other pedals, if you want to run the gain low, it does that also.
I use it into the crook, and I'll leave the crook with the gain low also, and leave it on all the time.
And push them together and get.
Yeah. So the original, like basically my clean tone is with the crook on.
Okay.
But
Got
dialed back. And like volume at a kind of a sweet spot where it's open, but with the gain all the way down. And then when you want to go lead boost, because that already, especially into this amp, it gives you just that little edge. That kind of what this does a similar thing, but I find this pushes that really well.
Sure.
So then I run this into that, exactly how I had it set with the gain way down, volume up, and it just gives you that little bit of front end smash on that crook, and it's just a nice thing.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, we always try to make the pedals work well together for sure. You know what I mean? And like that's part of this whole thing is obviously all of our friends get to try it first. Jay, like I said, Jay's had one of the first ones. I think you got crook number 2. Yeah, it's like something early. I can't even remember what it is.
Right after the dude from Perfect Circle.
Right. Well, actually, no. He's got a crook actually. That's what he's got,
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
But no, it's gnarly, dude. I mean, I'm super happy with this one. This is I think every pedal company ever has got a pedal that's kind of like this, but we wanted to do our own spin on it, and it's got the nice punchy throaty mids. It gets really nice high gain harmonics in the top end. It is just, when I think overdrive, this is the sound that I think of. It is this kind of a circuit,
and it's quiet. If I, especially where I leave it dialed with this game back about 9 o'clock, volume pretty much full tilt. This back just a hair right about there. I mean, that's full volume.
Right.
Hopefully we're not gating anything, right?
We're straight through.
Yeah, don't gate anything or anything.
We try to keep it honest here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so you can just hear it. I mean, that's a big part of a live setup. Yeah. If you're out there playing, I mean, everyone knows. We've seen it. I've seen bands, especially, guy comes in with kind of a funky setup or some really noisy pedals, and in between songs it's a mess.
Sure. Especially as an always on pedal. Yes. You're using it to push, it's important for it to be quiet. Sure. Well, let's do this. Let me set this one more way. Why don't you give us one more riff real quick. That's it, everyone. That is the Knuckle Sandwich. Like we said, been a long time coming. We are so happy we get to share it with you guys now for sure. But I want to thank Big J for being my demo guy for this. And again, I'm Jordan with Poison Noises, and we'll see you again next time.